But just to explain quickly, and it's interesting to see how this will develop, but this little pond that Rexon's talking about is just at the back of camp here. Essentially, we sorted out all our grey water as such of camp, and instead of having trouble with it like we did for a long time, we just redirected it, filtered and so on. It now runs out as clean water eventually, and it's just a little pond. Very, very nice for bird life, small life, but it's happening more and more. Like Rex, interesting little sort of watch the space down the line.
It was very, very good. I mean, there was few questions that come through. People would like to really clarify about the leopard that they saw earlier on, the grey they killed. The whether it's Kurula or Saseka. Definitely it was Saseka, but what makes people to be confused, when we read the communication, there was a guy that mentioned that Kurula John mentioned that it would be very, very good if Kurula joins Saseka. That would be something else that we would be adding on that. But really, of course, that was Saseka, one of the youngsters that she killed. She knocked a grey decker, and very interesting. I mean, definitely for sure, Kurula have really lost the contact with those cubs. The cubs now independent, because we have been seen around there with the mother back on the kill itself. That tells us the last day that we saw them around 3 o'clock, the mother said, you know, I can become more independent. You're no longer going to follow me, because we heard that also the leopard was mating around in and out from the country last 2 weeks. So it's very awesome. It's a very beautiful thing to see.
No, for sure, Rex. Yeah. And we touched on it last week as well, but there's certain events almost that when you look back on things over time, like when the Mapochos arrived the first time, I mean, they characters that are well cemented in all of our lives now, even though it doesn't happen over time, that you think back to, and sometimes on the occasion and sometimes later on it means quite a lot. And I certainly think that last week when Karula was around camp and we heard her every night, I mean 4 nights in a row we had her in camp. Unfortunately we couldn't actually show her to you. She managed to outwit us a few times, but you saw some of the stills on the website, and that time when she was mating, you could hear it. It was very special that was happening around us. You know, if we see those cubs, imagine 4 months from now we see those cubs, and it's like we can actually remember the time it happened. So, yeah.
Also, we have another question that people, also last week we ran down about the question. People that want to know if a leopard have a cubs and a new male or enter into the area, they're going to kill the cubs as some the lion do the same. And also that is amazing question. I mean, of course leopard is the same as lion, they can do the same because they're all territorial species. That means that the same gender of the same species can just spread out their own gene once they interfere with one another. So especially people have mate with another male around the area. If a new male comes into the area, he really won't like those cubs. Definitely is going to kill the cubs. If there's a female to be increased, then it can spread out the gene, because there's no inbreeding, there's no challenge from the dominant male that will be around you with the new cubs that were married into it. That is a failure of the leopard, what it is. It's very, very amazing.
Actually, something I'm worrying about myself, and I've got my own thoughts and views on it, but with what you've been living in this area for so long, with everything that happens here and so on, and having a special feel for these leopard. I mean, we talked about it last time, but you know, there's literally not just 1 or 2 leopard that we know here. It's Safari and Matimba, her son, and Karula and her daughter and offspring. So and Rexon knows this area's history intimately. I mean, from many different points of view, whether it's from the human history that have lived around here for many generations, with his family, or the animals. What I'm getting to, Rex, sorry, it's a long question, but what do you think Saseka? I mean, Tingana, I think she's quite a special leopard anyway. She's quite shy, we don't see her that much. But Saseka, do you think she's going to stick around this area for a little while, or what do you predict? Let's see what you think is going to happen.
With my prediction, you can see she's more relaxed leopard. She's going to share, I mean, territory with her mother into the area. Remember, Peter, we have seen lots of Saseka with the mother. Where Tingana, she was away for a long time. That tells us something. The relationship between the mother and the youngster itself is very, very high. She might still be around in the area, in and out. Especially, I mean, 3 house area is where we have turned that area also into our neighborhood, Little Gary. Like that, how the works sometimes is very amazing, especially in Fireside share Juma. We know all of us, if you want to see leopard, you have to come here in Fireside, get to Juma, next drive, first drive, you get to see leopard. So they tend to live, certain behavior that we, as we people, sometimes we didn't really get to use to it. We have seen it many leopards around here, the beacon female. Once before I have seen beacon female, also told you the story with the first offspring and the second offspring all joining together. Playing. Okay, the young and playing. Yeah, playing even. Sure. No problem. The mother while is around in that area. So leopard can do something that we not normally to witness around the area. So with Saseka, I believe she will be staying around in the area, in and out, while the mother, she's becoming a dominant female around in the area. Same flies ruler and her mother, Safari. Yeah. When they go down to the west, look at Aratuza, Saseka, Kurula and Safari female, they were sharing almost in one territory. Yeah. But there was no fight at all, which it can happen here too. Most of the time, our books and so on, the information that pass on, we know that leopard, they don't share territory at all. More territory, but that can happen.
I think it's a very valid point, Rexon, who I was talking to someone about this, is that there's certain expected behaviors that you get used to animals, how they behave, and certain things that we sort of preconceive, and often correctly. Obviously, there's been a lot of scientific research as well as individual people that have paid a lot of attention to the environment. But essentially, there's always unique circumstances. Even the Mapojos and the Kuhumas, you're seeing the kitchen friend.
Yeah, it's inside.
Yeah, we've got this big mouse, small rat that's living in the kitchen. We've tried a few other measures still, and you just see him there. But the point is that behavior can change, and it can be, to an extent, even with individuals, slightly different. Obviously, there's certain norms, the same as for humans. There's certain specific ways we behave. But it doesn't mean that if a group of humans behave in some way in a certain area, that they're going to behave exactly the same somewhere else. Obviously, same with leopard. Their environment and their circumstances all play a role as to how they interact.
It's true. Yeah. That's true. It's amazing. It's amazing how they really operate. I've seen a leopard having youngster, first offspring. What happened? She get pregnant and have the second offspring. That she will have to push their cubs away. What happens? The hyena killed the second offspring. The mother went back to the first offspring and really interact one another, playing together and be around, hunt and still bring those first offspring on the kill itself. That's amazing. Yeah. We haven't get to witness, or we haven't get, in black and white. Study more animals. You learn a lot of things from practically around you without learning from the book itself. Yeah. That really is true. Sometimes we don't have this information from the book. Book doesn't tell us, but it still can happen around the area.
And I think that's one of the things that's interesting is for you being able to have gone on so many drives. We were talking about it the other day again. Oh, excuse me. So many of you have been on more drives than a lot of guides. If you think of the can get on the vehicle whenever you want and see what's going on. So it also, I think, one of the exciting things in the sort of almost like the social consciousness of people involved with WildEarth, which you're a very, very important part of, obviously, is that we can observe, as we can have ideas of how it works, and we can have facts, and there's research and so on, and in the end we can observe, and there's a correlation between that. We all communicate about it, we all talk about it, and it's an awareness, and we can see things happening as they happen. It used to be only people that researched wildlife. They lived out in the bush for 3 years, and they didn't contact with anyone, and they just did all the research. All guides, they only guided, and that's how they knew. But now there's a stage where anyone really, within this area that WildEarth moves around in, can get to know and make up their own opinions and their own understandings of behavior.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is interesting.
Very interesting. I think we have quoted a lot about leopard for the afternoon. Now, also, audience, join us for the afternoon that we now give.
Sorry, both Rex and myself, we can see, we should give him a name at some stage. But, Rex, sorry.
Yeah, we have given much information more. This is a proper information that really you can go wherever, even from website, you will never ever come across it. This is the reality of the leopard around in the area. And we have a lot of things that happen during the week that we need to really share with you around the fire here while we're chatting. Like Drive and this afternoon, the beautiful sightings that we've seen around the area.
Yeah, it's been a good day. It's And just before we forget to mention to you as well, a little bit later, Mateo will come and join as well and chat a bit more about his experiences here.